LTC, we start with 1 hour chart. Okay, if we refer to our analysis, when the price was within this move, we look for buy after we get this down move. And one of the options was to have entry above this. When the price was exactly within this move, we mentioned we start to manage it because I mentioned the price can drop. All right. Now the thing is, as we can see the price drop, now we want to see whether this is a bigger correction for continuation or this is the start of the down move. Okay, even if this is the start of the down move, the way is moving is a corrective. We can right now we don't have any trade setup for sell as well. Okay, now because if we put this one in relative to this, mostly we have for most of the charts we talk about this because they have similarity. We want to see whether this is a correction or not. This is the only things we need to know if we're looking for buy in case the price drop. But the way this one is drop corrective, mostly if you want to look for reversal, we need to get the sharp move. Okay, now the question is when we see this kind of the things, still we can expect for the next move. All right, shall we look for buy or not? In this case, we move to daily chart. All right, based on daily chart, okay, we put these lines because we were looking for this and relative to this for the next move. In that case, we need to get the correction here for continuation. Okay, but the question was whether this one can give us one more drop or not. All right, if we move to forward chart, all right, the things is if we want to look for buy, we need to know this is what we're every time we point on it. And as we can see, price almost haven't broke this top, but it's almost there. Can this one turn to one more flag for one more drop? This is what we need to bear in mind because now we have a correction here. And as I show based on 1 hour chart, the way is moving is really corrective. That means if we want to look for buy, we need to be aware of what this. We need to get the buy set up. Because if the price drop, we can expect the price to break this low. And the first target is 140 and the second one is 112. This is not the trade setup. Okay, unless the only times we can look for this one as a target for the trade setup if we get any sell setup. But right now we're looking at this. Maybe this one can happen because this one will be similar to what we have here. That's why buying from here, when the price was at this low, we mentioned we can look for buy. Even right now, if you get the buy setup, we are more interested because we're thinking maybe this is the start of the up move. Why? Because if we put this one relative to each other based on MACD and another one, we have a divergence. That's why we're thinking maybe this is the only one as a 1, 2, 3 or ABC 1, 2, 3. And this is the start of the up move. But when we see this one, we need to be quite careful for this. That's why any buy from here, we need to know how to manage it. We don't want to buy at the top and the top of the correction, the price reverse. Okay, but right now, if you want to first we talk about sell, okay, the way it's moving doesn't give us any sell setup unless we trade based on one lower time frame or this one 10 test correction. Mostly we can look for based on 15 minutes for one more drop, but the way it's moving, any sell will be short term sell. Only times we can look for the proper sell setup if this one drop a bit more, then give us a bigger correction. Then we can confirm, okay, any sell, we take it with the breakout of this low. Okay, when we're talking about here is almost 153. But if this one continues similar to what we have here, mostly we can look for buy. Okay, and now the thing is, if we want to look for buy, whether we can put this one in relative to this as a correction, but if we want to put in relative to each other, the way is moving in terms of the length and the way is moving is not exactly similar to what we have here. Okay, all right, that means if we want to put this one in relative to this, it's not similar because this one is with a sharp move, but this one is a corrective. Okay, now this one we consider as a correction, and now we want to see if we get this one deeper, any breakout we buy with the breakout of this top. That means if this one become a deeper, then we will have our trend line. Any breakout with a sharp move with the flag, we can look for the breakout of the top. The top is 196. Okay, but right now we don't have any trade setup because I mentioned this one can turn to a sell setup. Okay, by the way, if we want to trade whether for buy or sell, still we don't have any trade setup. We need to see what we get this one can give us. Even if we get any sharp move from here, I don't think we can get a really good trade setup unless if the price continue from here, unless we wait for the breakout and get the trade setup above the top. But we at that time we need to be consider about this one as it as well. Okay, any trade setup within this range, or we wait for the breakout of this top again. No, we cannot confirm. The only things I can say, if there is a reversal, the breakout of this, any trade we can look for. And having entry above this can be option, but right now we are not really interested in case the price tag and reverse. Okay. By the way, we just follow this. We see how we can trade. Right now we don't have any trade set up for buy or sell, but we talk about the both possibility, and mostly we are more interested in the buy if we get the buy for long term. All right. Anyway, we just follow the chart. If I see any update, I will share. Thanks.